So last night I was recording an episode with the podcast called Unholier and the podcast host Jenny. One, it was really amazing to have a conversation with someone else that grew up within the IFB world, and there's so much solidarity in that. But what I really wanted to discuss today and talk about is those of us who are going through healing, deconstruction, trying to reclaim our lives, and all of that is so complicated and can be messy and sticky, and there's bumps and bruises all along the way. But one of the things that was insanely healing last night, I was sharing my story about how I got out, and I'll have to do a full video eventually about that, but I ran away actually at the age of 19. I was brought back, and then I was essentially kicked out by the pastor because he said I was a poison to my family. And then when I got out, I actually talked to the father of who is now my husband, because he was trying to get out as well. And because of how I stood up for myself and the things that I said, his dad was like, you can get out too, because your blonde bombshell just talked to me, because I used Bible verses to defend myself. I say all of this to say, after I said all of these things and talked about what I did and how I ran away and got into a Greyhound bus, because she knew the context and she had grown up that way, she recognized how difficult that really was to be a 19-year-old girl who grew up in a fundamentalist Baptist cult, who was taught that I have no voice, I have no autonomy, I have no power, and yet within all of that, and I believed all of it, I somewhere inside of me had the gumption to do these things. And to see her reaction and to be reflected back to me, the strength that that took, the courage that that took, was so amazing and just healing. To have someone kind of be in awe of your story, of the things that you did, because it's really hard for us to see ourselves that way, especially given the way we grew up. If we grew up in these fundamentalist Baptist cults that taught us there was nothing good about us. But to see your strength and the things and the qualities that are positive about you being reflected back in someone else's perspective is such a healing thing. So find someone. It does not have to be on a public platform. I like to talk, so here I am. But find someone in your life that you can share part of your story with and see that reflection back to you, to see how strong you truly are.